Good morning. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. I'm trying very hard to nurture myself to the point where I can get this poem that's forming out of my insides. In the course of doing that, I am awakening a part of my spirituality which is of old. I purchased from a dear lady, her shop, this set of tarot, and had begun to realize at the time that I purchased it, had already begun to realize I communicate with trees, with birds, with cats and dogs. So it's a part of my pagan core that the more I am less busy with actual chores of being who I am, the more I work hard on forgiving myself and others, the more I encourage others to understand my core, which didn't need to forgive anyone. My subconscious knows my family, and so our 12-member family, and so there's nothing to forgive. In my life, it is part of the journey, and I simply see, because this part I do know is true, is that we were doing the best we could, regardless of the circumstances. All of us, we are good people. So the subconscious, the metaphysical side of me, that is the archangel named Tara, that is a woman who knows previous lives that I infill or that infill me. That woman has sought for years to be understood, has tried her best, my best, to let people know that I am trying and to understand them. And that is all I know about me. Right now, I am on a journey of understanding trust, because it is not understood at all. It is one of the words that is not understood at all in this day and age. And I happened the other day at a store to purchase a new book, which, I've purchased a lot of them and struggled to finish them, but I don't even know what the word finished means. I don't have to go to the back of the book with my handwriting and my pontificating, whichever book it is, for the book to end. When I am in pain, I have learned in metaphysical, sorrowful pain, mourning loss, which I'm coming out of, and I'm very grateful. By 2024, the first month, I'm getting skills to come completely out of the mourning that started the day my brother died the second time. I was 14. And it is not that I didn't have beautiful times. I'm so grateful for my 10 children, because even with the difficulties of what everyone probably has termed mental illness in my case, because it's in both sides of my family, what some people have termed that I was abused because of the strict nature of my upbringing, and that in turn I abused because I raised some of my older children in the same way I was raised. See, none of that I ever considered as negative things, and I have been met with my life being positioned into a negative place, and I had to completely, and I had to rebuild myself. And the foundation of my rebuilding myself, I have stumbled upon through the book Paganism by Joyce and River Higginbotham, the runes developed and for over 25 years by Ralph H. Bloom. Those are Nordic pagan runes. Beautiful set that I have. And poets T.S. Eliot, Robert Frost, Elizabeth and Robert Barrett Browning, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and philosophers at this time, Steiner, Rudolph Steiner, and Carl Jung. I would like to introduce Maya Angelou into this, and Margaret Atwood is another, and she's modern. So I also am perusing other books, small, tiny books. I love to use tiny hardback books that I find in stores that have been passed along to used bookstores. That's just a fun thing to me. And, you pay $3 and you treasure the book for the rest of your life kind of thing. So here is another set that I'm using that I got from my same dear friend at the shop. And I'm also being very, very realistically changed by beginning the journey of Rudolph Steiner's Calendar of the Soul. And so I look forward to January 2024 and going through the book, the whole book, the next year and for probably several years later, because his work is immaculately poetic and his philosophy I understand 100% and actually had in my core somehow, which is a beautiful thing. Here is the book right now this week with a poem I'm just beginning to write that I'm going to use. So, and how I started in my brand new little book, Thoughts of Sorts is what's on the front of this little book. For my handwriting and my pontification, some of it's going to be my own poetry, and some of it's going to be quotes of other people's poems that I will read onto a website. So I'm titling this book, this is the first time I've actually distinctly done this. I'm titling this book Poetry Crow. And that's me, Tara, because of this deck and how I realize the crows and I communicate. We really do. They hear me, I hear them. And I know that's a strange concept for some people. And what you consider mentally ill, I consider normal a lot of times. I just was having a conversation with my dear son and his dear wife about the wasted society that we are miraculously seeing people come through, but it's actually a wasteland by T.S. Eliot. And that is children being forced into public, private, all kinds of schools and religious situations like their mother was for more time than them, because it was ever since the age of 7 for me. And how we are creating our soul again, all of us in various ways, and it's kind of mind-boggling. Religion and capitalism together unensoul us, and that is from a concept I'm learning from Mr. Steiner, and it's already up. The second piece that is going into my learning process at the end of 2023, he uses the word SelfHood. I have, this is for the 35th week of this little booklet, 1st through 7th of December. And so I've started this and I pulled a spirit animal wisdom cards for this particular piece that is not finished yet. That's what I have been calling my kitty notebook. So it looks like I'm going to have two pieces because I began my first poem, and it is entitled The Mountain Trust, or that is the first line of the poem. I've already heard it come forth, but I'm going to lay it aside because I'm busy today and I need to go out this evening. The words will be there, and they will actually mature more as I move on in my life. And so since this is going to go on 2 blogs, let me just close with the poem that is going with the thoughts of sorts with the Crow Tarot, Love Lily by Dante, Gabriel, Rossetti. Between the hands, between the brows, between the lips of Love Lily, a spirit is born whose birth endows my blood with fire to burn through me, who breathes upon my gazing eyes, who laughs and murmurs in mine ear, at whose least touch my color flies, and whom my life grows faint to hear. Within the voice, within the heart, within the mind of Love Lily, a spirit is born who lifts apart his tremulous wings and looks at me, who on my mouth his finger lays and shows while whispering lutes confer that Eden of love's watered ways, whose winds and spirits worship her. This is a form of the dove, if you want the honest truth. Brows, hands, and lips, heart, mind, and voice, kisses and words of Love Lily. Oh, bid me with your joy rejoice, till riotous longing rest in me. Ah, let not hope be still distraught, but find in her its gracious goal, whose speech truth knows not from her thought, nor love her body from her soul. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncovered No More.